That is Jim Miller, of course, from Moving the Chains on Sirius XM every afternoon, 3 to 7 on Sirius XM NFL Radio. Pat Kerwin is here with him as well, his co-host. They're here at Patriots training camp today at Gillette, and they've got an episode coming up this afternoon on Sirius XM. They talked to Mike Vrabel this morning already. You can hear that show coming up this afternoon or anytime on the Sirius XM app. How was talking to your former teammate today?
Well, gentlemen, good to be with you. Always get to check out the first day in pads of Patriots camp, and Scott, always good checking in with you. But yeah, Vrabel, all business-like. You know, he was fun to have as a teammate, joking, playing around, but he's all business as a coach, and it should be. I think he's going to bring a level of accountability here.
Was he as much a dick in practice as Tom says he was?
I used to laugh because, Scott, you know, like the show teams or whatever, so obviously Mike being a starter on defense. No, Coach, the card's wrong. They wrote up the card wrong, Coach. They need to execute the card. He'd always be, you know, just jabbing Bill Belichick, and he was fun. He was fun to have as a teammate, but, yeah, he could really bust some chops.
I remember we were down in Tennessee doing joints, and this is the year we didn't have any receivers. They were all hurt.
Yeah.
And Brady and him were still yelling at each other, walking out to the practice fields. I'm going to dice your ass up, man. I got no receivers. I'm still – and it made Brady focus, and he went like 12 or 14 that day with a bunch of backups against him.
Yeah.
He was still chirping Mike.
Hey, it was competitive. You know, I'm not going to say with Mike here like it's going to go back to the Patriots of old, but I do think this. He will challenge players. There will be a level of accountability. And I think, as you will attest to, Scott, a level of toughness. You know, there's a level of toughness that he's going to bring, and I think they'll be mentally tough for the challenge. I was looking at your schedule as I was coming up here. You and I know when you have 12 1 o'clock games, one, it tells you what the league thinks about you.
Right.
But I kind of like that as a player. You're in your schedule, you know, you're just kind of rolling along, and I think you'll have this group ready to play. I think Patriots will surprise some people.
And, you know, traveling with the team, I worry about that for my own. No, because we've had bitch schedules before, like 3 West Coast games, have to do the international game in London. We've been down to Mexico City. You don't want that. Like, the furthest we travel is New Orleans.
Yeah.
And to your point, like, you get in that rhythm of, hey, every day, and the bye falls right at Thanksgiving. It's like the perfect time.
Yeah, I really do. I think it plays in their favor. I mean, we were talking off the air. I mean, I easily can see 8-9 wins pretty easily for this team. And it's not – and I give Elliott Wolf and Mike a lot of credit. I think they brought in the right guys. I think they were selective. I think they attacked the trenches. You got some competitive – battles in camp here. I think there are young players that are going to play. Obviously, Henderson, you look at Campbell. Ashby, you know, is probably going to be the long snapper, you know, and unless he can't do it, then they'll bring in somebody else. But, you know, I like what the Patriots have done this offseason.
When you look at this practice, one thing we've noticed is every day the speed at which they move. There's no downtime. There's a lot of movement. Everything is quick, period to period, on the field. It speaks to that level of accountability, but also just the fact that, guys, head on a swivel. And I think that's a big difference from where this team was a year ago. And I know you guys come here every year and see this.
I just know when I go to other camps, I don't like, say, during special teams period when they were just doing a special teams period, the other part of the team is just sitting around, standing, doing nothing. Here, they take advantage of that time, whether it's offense, defense, whoever's not working on special teams. They're down there getting reps, doing other things to, you know, of things that need to be covered. There is no downtime. And I think now in today's football, I don't want to sound like some old guy get off our lawn, me and Scott, but they were long. There were a lot of practices. We had 2-a-days. You had a lot of reps. And now with being only 1 practice a day, you've got to maximize what you do on the field. And I think Mike Vrabel takes advantage of that.
So how many teams have you visited so far?
I did the Lions and the Bears. I thought Dan Campbell, being year 5, you know, it's interesting because Ben Johnson, as OC, goes down to Chicago. To see Lions year 5, I mean, it was humming. Like what you guys are saying, drill to drill. You got a veteran quarterback in Jared Goff, #1 offense in the NFL. They're just humming. They're picking up right where they left off. And now Ben Johnson trying to build the Bears.
Yeah.
Fumbled snaps, you know, the foundational year type of problems. Like, it's not what I want it to look like, boys. You know, get up there and do it again. They're not breaking the huddle right, you know, stuff like that. So they're just getting the party started in Chicago and what Ben Johnson's trying to do. But I thought Dan Campbell's group looked really good.
For a lot of years, people will be talking about the top 3 quarterbacks of that draft: Caleb Williams, and Daniels and Drake Maye, those three. So you've seen those three. I think everyone thinks Daniels is spectacular, but how does Drake Maye here compared to, let's say, Caleb Williams in Chicago right now?
Yeah, I think, one, getting Josh McDaniels here is going to be huge. I spent time with Josh here, and I think the offense, and he'll be taught the right way. And, it's like even last year when he and Joe Milton were here, you get to see the nerves in Drake Maye. He skipped his first ball on the dirt. Nobody could go fishing last year because he was killing all the worms, and now he looks like a pro quarterback. I saw him even just warming up. Boom, he knows the routine. He knows what he's got to get done. He's in the right mental frame of mind to practice, and it's night and day, I think, for him.
So we look at the Miami Dolphins and, what Tua's been able to do there. And I try and look at, the division here. Buffalo is definitely the cream of the crop.
Yeah.
If in Mike's first year, don't you think it'd be a success if you finish second in this division?
Yeah.
Because, nobody counts the Jets in. They got their own issues. But the Dolphins have beaten us 6 out of the last 6 times.
Yeah, I think they've jumped ahead of Miami. Miami, to me, has not gotten better as a team. They continue to give away their good players. Normally it's you draft and develop players. Fine, they got Minka Fitzpatrick back, but they drafted him. He should have been there the whole time. Tunsil, they traded him away. The Wilkins, you saw what the Raiders just did with him. They gave him away. And now for the Miami, they just gave away Jonnu Smith, So, I just, to me, Miami's going backwards and New England's going forwards. And you're right, it'll be a challenge. It's a good test for New England. You're going to be 53 yards away when you play them. And to say, hey, that's what we want to be. And I think Mike Vrabel knows what that looks like, and that's what he's going to try to accomplish here.
Jim Miller is with us in the Super Service Today guest chair, Massachusetts' #1 provider for plumbing, heating, cooling, and drain cleaning, day or night, and always done right. Visit superservicetoday.com. You said you looked at that schedule. How many wins do you think this Patriots team is capable of?
I do. I think minimum 8 to 9, right off the bat. Now, can you get some signature wins that – you win some games that nobody expects you, like Washington. Think of Dan Quinn in his inaugural year. They split with Philadelphia last year during the season, and they lost to them.
Philly nervous in that playoff game.
Yeah, but, they were like that big win over the Bears. They had that, the Bears corner screwed up, Tyreek Stevenson, but nonetheless, those in your foundational year, those are signature wins that kind of solidify and put the pillars in the cement that, hey, we got something good here that's going. And I think Vrabel will do that. One, with his coaching, the coaching staff that he brought aboard, and Mike's a pretty savvy guy as a coach. I think they'll be tough, like I said, mentally, physically. They'll be prepared, technique-wise, all the things that they need to do, and they'll eke out a couple of wins that way. But you need a couple of special wins that really really solidify it and cement it for your football players.
What do you think of Belichick at UNC?
It's do you see that picture on opening? Yeah. It looked like he was bench pressing. He had that big old chest with those two players in front of him.
Chest has gotten bigger, yeah.
I think he's going to do very well. They did have a lot of NIL money to spend. I saw he did lose one of his pass rushers, but again, they'll be disciplined. They're going to foundationally, technique-wise, he'll cover every base, and I think they're going to do well. He's a coach. That's who he is. That's what he always is going to be, and to me, it's a shame. I'd like to see him in the NFL. I think he's good for the NFL, but those players, there's a lot of players around the country that are going to want to go to North Carolina because they know that's a direct pipeline to the NFL.
I want to go back to those year 2 quarterbacks just for a second. If you had to take one of those guys to make that year 2 jump right now, which one would it be?
Well, I like Jaden Daniels. I like Drake Maye here. People forget I love Bo Nix.
Do you?
Bo Nix. I was talking to Sean Payton. They had their quarterbacks, Jaden Daniels and Bo Nix. They didn't even have Caleb Williams in his top 2. So Bo Nix, he did lead the team to the playoffs. This kid, I love what I love about Drake Maye for how big he is. People don't realize he is very athletic. He rushed for over 400 yards last year. This kid can get out of trouble if need be. And I do think he's got it from the neck up, being a coach's son and things of that nature. And, he's got a desire. He wants to be great. And I think he's going to take a big jump.
I don't think Vrabel wants him moving as much this year.
The shots to the head. He had the concussion one time and then almost got grazed on the other, but he came back in that game.
Vrabel said
he's tough.
Much.
Well, that's what I like about him, too, is he's tough. And that's what I like about Bo Nix. I think he's tough. I think Jaden Daniels is tough.
All right, Jim. Well, it's great to see you.
Jim, thanks, buddy.
Thanks for
Guys,
coming, as
have
always.
a great year. Always
Appreciate
good
ya.
to see you,
You
man.
smell good. You smell really good.
Hey, I
like
owe
that
it to you.
cologne.
I owe it to you. You know that,
Nice.
Scott.
It's nice.
Jim Miller, catch him on Sirius XM NFL Radio coming up this afternoon, 3 to 7 Eastern, and Mike Vrabel. The interview that they conducted with him a short time ago will be airing. You can always catch it on demand on the Sirius XM app.